Welcome to another episode of the Players Ball Podcast for AT Aliens by AT Aliens. I am your host, Alex the Great, also known as Marcus Alexander. I'm joined by my brother from another mother, Matty Bombetti, MB. And we're going to bring you some more sports, man. I thought with the content we gave y'all last week, man, was just top tier. So like and subscribe. You gotta rock with your boys. We're getting more comments on the video, so we appreciate that. We're getting a couple of likes on our single once a week social posts. So we appreciate everybody out there that's still with us, and we're back at it again. This week we're gonna come at you a little differently. We wanna do a segment that we're gonna try to make reoccurring. We're gonna call this segment Spaghetti Junction. Right, the
It,
sports news in Atlanta is a hodgepodge of highways all coming into a central location. A lot of traffic jams, some super speeders, a lot going on, man. But we're gonna use this segment to talk about, some news that you can use involving Atlanta city sports. And we're just gonna jump right in. The Hawks. So I went to a Hawks game recently. I went Friday. Hawks Clippers. Kawhi played. James Harden played. It was the first game that the Hawks and Clippers had played each other since the trade that they completed. And the trade involved Bogey. Bogey, shout out Bogey. He got a tribute video and he had some comments after the game that I thought were real special, saying why he changed his number. Let's start there. He's not wearing the 13 for the Clippers or 17. It's either 13 or 17. His number for the Hawks, he's not wearing for the Clippers because we really hold a special place in Bogey's heart, the fans, and he just commented about that and was like, he knows the game, he knows it's a business. Someone else said that. We'll talk about that later. Um, but that he really appreciates the fans, and I think that touches on something that we've talked about a number of times over the last couple of weeks, like the name on the back of the jersey oftentimes is just as important as the name on the front.
sometimes
And
more.
so I want to start with, yeah, big facts when it comes to Luca specifically, way more. I'll pass that to you, man. What would you think of like Bogey showing his allegiance to the Hawks fan? I really appreciated that.
I mean, I think it's cool. I think around the city, you hear people talk about, especially on the radio and in chat rooms and forums, and the different outlets where fans really get to show their voice. Um, the whole kind of video farewell montage, whatever. I feel like it's kind of a soft thing. I get it. It's respectful. You want to show your appreciation, love, and support. But I mean, if you're not with us, you're against us. So get out of here. It's like the I love Freddie Freeman, right? Like he was my favorite Brave of the modern era. Um, Played my position, right? But a standing ovation every single night, at some point you just gotta get over it. He's gone.
Mhm.
And Freddie was here for a long time. I don't know how long Bogey was here, but I don't feel like
It was 7 years.
he wasn't quite impactful enough, in my opinion, to
Mm.
deserve a tribute video. I mean, he was here more than Carmelo Anthony, but I don't know if that warrants a tribute video. But I know, I mean, it's cool. Good on him for giving some love to the city. I love the city. Uh, like you said, his business decision. He wasn't performing. He did not take his Summer Olympic play and uh, catapult it into an excellent year for us. So it's time to move on.
Yeah, so it was 5 years, not seven. 5 years in a 7 year career. 8 year. He's in year eight. Five of them were with the Hawks. So um, he was a mainstay of the team. I think the only Hawk remaining from beyond Trey Young's draft is Trey Young damn near. I mean, I think it's him and Clint Capella, outside of people that we've drafted into the organization. So I liked it. I appreciate the montage video. Freddie was a little different for me. It was the playoffs when and we faced them in the playoffs. They were still trying to do the standing O thing and giving all this respect. Like, nah, I'm with you. Get out of here, man. You're gone. You're dead to me. But Bogey and I don't want to call it a meaningless game because we definitely needed to win, and we did not. I thought it was cool. I think Bogey he's a great Hawk. He was a great Hawk. So the other thing that happened is we led the first half. Trey wasn't shooting well. Everyone else probably was. Ricochet continued to play excellent basketball, and then we went. I don't know if it was because of the refs. The refs were not on our side all night. They were terrible. Um, it was real cool to see Grayson like getting upset that how many times the Clippers were going to the free throw line. But the refs, I won't say they impacted the game because the Hawks went ice cold. I don't think I've ever seen that in a live performance before. They did not come back on. Right, the only person who could really hit a shot after a while was Ricochet. Everyone was bricking, and that was discouraging, man. Because then we played another game the next, like 2 nights later against Brooklyn, and it was very similar. Like we just could not. Now they hit almost all of their threes. It was 49% that Brooklyn made their threes. We couldn't buy a three, man. We were building houses the last 2 games with these bricks, and it's coming off of a 3-game win streak. So it's pretty frustrating, man. But we don't see where they go, man. We don't call that 85. 85 North. They need to take a break up in Gwinnett or something.
They did catch on fire a couple years back, and they had to rebuild it.
They did. They did. It did. But I think that was just, they needed to spend some infrastructure money, man. That was a ploy.
I'm talking about
Self destruction.
make, making the parallel between this Hawks team and the interstate on fire, on the
Yeah.
rebuild. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna go that far, but I did happen to turn the game on. I don't remember the exact statistic, but it said they went like 3 minutes or longer without making a shot.
Oh man, it was so tough to
Maybe it was
watch.
8. Maybe it was 8 minutes. I remember just being astounded, and that we were still in the game at that point, but it looked like the Clippers had gotten the lead and they were starting to run away with it. So
Yeah, they started to hit some shots, and that's where I think the refs came in to play because they were getting some BS foul calls like left and right. They made that rule for basically for Trey Young and James Harden, and they only applied it to Trey in the game. James was getting every foul call. Kawhi was getting every foul call, and it's like, okay, we got a superstar too. Can we get a call? They could not.
yeah.
So it was frustrating, man. But we remain in seventh, still a ways back from what would be fourth, which is kind of cool that we could get that high. But it's 5 full games, so
I heard we're a half game ahead of the Magic at this point.
hmm
So they need to get back in the groove, put these last two L's behind them, and get back in the winning column.
that's to your point. It was last week and maybe the week before too. Winning three, losing two, winning three, losing four. That's just not sustainable, man. So they haven't been able to get out of that. We hope that they will here shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, the highways are gonna highway. Um, Also in a losing streak are the Atlanta United.
I mean, it's a
Uh,
1 game losing streak.
Draw is kind of a loss to me. It's not, but it's not a win.
It's not a win. But in soccer, coming away with points is the most important thing you can do. You want
Mm,
three, but if you get one, you'll take it. Getting zero is an L, and we took an
mm,
L yesterday night in the bins. First loss at home. We did score early. Lati Loth got his third goal of the year. Um, the scoring has been kind of cold outside of the first game. Um, so they really need to get that kind of worked out. They spent a lot of money. You know, Miguel, Lati, they've all looked dangerous, but we had some pretty key injuries starting the season. Uh, Amador and Brooks Lennon and a few others didn't start in the first few games, and they're coming on. And I think that there's still some gelling, some chemistry that needs to be built amongst the starting 11, and
yeah.
hopefully, with a few more, you know, legs under their belt, they'll get it rolling in this. I mean, I think our expected goals per game is well over 1.5, and we haven't averaged that. So if we can just start, improving, like finishing on some opportunities, this team's going to be real dangerous. Now they did play Miami. It was a rematch of the playoffs. Messi did score the leveling goal, which, to be honest, we kind of handed it, we gifted it to him with some missed touches in our own defensive side of the ball, and then the game winner that Miami scored was off some really weird sequences. It was a header to the bottom corner. It was weakly hit. Uh, Guzan just kind of looked off balance and wasn't able to scramble back and get his hand on it. Uh, I think he was moving in the wrong direction, and so
Mm,
shifting his momentum back to get there, just it didn't work out, and the ball trickled in. I will say the refs in that game, a lot of criticism. Um, it seems like stars tend to get favorable calls. Go figure. Uh,
yeah.
and arguably the biggest soccer icon in the world was on one of those clubs, and it wasn't ours. So you can imagine who was getting the favorable calls last night.
Yeah, man. There was you were showing me like because Atlanta is it's a big hat city. People want to be out and about and be seen, right? And that's for the celebrities as well. And you see celebrities all the time at Hawks games and at Falcons games, but you said they pulled up at the United game, and I wonder. So some of them were local. Don Cannon, Big Lotto, um, Justin Fields. Do you think they were more there for Atlanta United or for Messi?
I think
What would you
there's a
think?
combination of both. I definitely think when you play a game against a star like Messi, it definitely brings out more. But I will say United is known for being kind of like a city culture um
Yeah.
kind of event. And so every week they have a cultural icon come and hit the golden spike to start it off and get the fans, rowdy before the game. And you usually see a few in the stand. So no surprise, but definitely there is a Messi effect, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, because the city will come out loud. I know all of the big stars for the Atlanta teams have hit the spike, right? So I know Trey has hit it. Ronnie definitely hit it. Those are our two stars right now. Brittany Griner might get a shot, before the season's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is interesting because the when I think about the United games and the presence in there, it is like true fans. Um, More than when I think about like the Lakers game, you think about all the stars that are sitting front row, or even the Hawks game. Like the Hawks got a lot of stars that sit front row, so it's good to see United getting that love, man. I'm happy to hear that and see it. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So there was some other news. He-
More spaghetti?
yeah, just heading out west to the good old Cobb County, Cumberland area. Um, you'll find the Braves, the Marietta Braves out there.
We call them cod breads. The cod bread.
Um, but no, Spencer Strider made his first start today. Um, almost a full year since the last time he's been on the mound. He looked electric. Now it was only
Mhm.
27 pitches. He only saw eight batters, but he retired all eight and struck out six of them. I would
Yeah.
say that's a pretty winning formula, although the Braves lost. It is only spring training. But really, really encouraged to see Spencer come out and look healthy. His stuff was good, his velocity was there. We saw every single pitch in his arsenal, the curveball, the slider, the both fastballs. So real, real promising. And then after the game today, the Braves announced that Chris Sale will be your opening day starter, which I think comes as no surprise. He was the NL Cy Young winner, um, Triple Crown winner, uh, coming off a career year. He is our bona fide ace coming into the year. So looking forward to seeing him hit the mound. I think he's had a pretty moderate spring, just trying to get ready and tuned up for opening day.
Yeah, I don't need the old man to go too many more games. He looked like he was good enough. With Spencer, did he top triple digits at all? Did they say?
I don't know. I didn't see any velocity readings, but I assume he was close, if not there. I mean,
Hmm.
typically he's in the upper 90s.
98,
Yeah,
99, yeah.
yeah.
Another thing, man, I was looking at that jersey they had on. That thing is fire. Is that new? Did you see the jersey?
I saw it. It didn't look anything special, but they always have a spring training kit, if you will.
Yeah. It's got red trim on it on the blue. Like I,
Yeah.
I like the lines on it. I was like, oh, that jersey is cold.
And
I'm
then
gonna
they
have to
were
get one of those.
wearing a green hat for St.
Yeah, for
Patty's,
St. Patty's. Yeah.
which I know we didn't say we were going to talk about this, but have you seen that New Era's collection of the the hats that they came out with that have the team names and then the logos larger in the center? Have you seen these?
Mm-mm.
Oh, they've been a big controversy because like in Angels, the A is in the middle, and so it reads as like anals. And Texas, the Texas T is in the middle. It's like it says uh tetas or whatever.
Tetas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um the Astros, the A is in the center. It looks like assholes.
Oh no, I gotta find that. I'll
Uh
find it later. That sounds hilarious.
so they've pulled them off the shelves, and the thing that's so funny to me is like in just hearing what protocols they have to go through in order to launch some of this stuff. Like it got past like multiple levels. It's MLB approval, new era design approval, like
It's
all.
intentional, man. The Tetas Rangers. Come on, dog. I thought it was like you could still kind of see the X. It's completely covered.
Yeah, I mean some of them are.
Assholes, Mazers, Master. It looked like Master to me. The Mariners one.
Yeah,
Anals. That's crazy. Bobans.
yeah. It's a
Me. Yeah, that's terrible, man.
do better, MLB.
Do better. New era. Everybody involved. Drop that
It
ball.
reminds me of those memes. It's like you had one job.
Yeah, one job. You sitting out here. a hat that says basically titties in Spanish. Like, come on, dog. What are you doing?
It's
Somebody, it was a mission success. They had that in mind, and
for
they got
sure.
it done.
But I think if you can get your hands on one, because I think they pulled them from sale, they're going on
Hmm.
like the Tetas one are going online for triple digits.
No way.
Yeah, on like eBay.
They call it the overlap hat.
Yeah, the overlap. But anyways, a little sidebar. MLB. Uh, the spring training's almost over. Opening day right around the corner. So, come on, Braves. But
Yeah, and the last highway that will that pulled through was them dogs. How about them dogs? Basketball dogs though. They made the big dance for the first time in a long time.
in a decade to be exact.
Yeah, yeah, and it's gonna be dog eat dog, man, because they drew Gonzaga as the 9 seed. They're facing number 8 Gonzaga. I haven't watched much college hoops. I did watch Auburn and Tennessee.
Oh, that's a
Um,
big one.
that that game was chippy, boy. But have you watched any dogs basketball?
I haven't. Not in real time at least. I've seen clips. I've read a lot of articles. I try to keep up with them, checking the scores and whatnot. While they're playing, they're kind of very similar to the Hawks that they have some really big wins. They beat Florida. They beat Kentucky. They've beat some big top 25 teams. So on any given night, they can beat the best, but then they just lay eggs against like Oklahoma. They played in the first round of the
Mm,
SEC tournament and they lost, right? So I think this team has the ability to make some noise in the dance, but I wouldn't expect them to go super far. They got to get past Gonzaga first. I think they have it in them, but it's all dependent on which team shows up.
yeah. Yeah, they were saying that their best player, he could go pro, but he might stay. And that the coach, he may get some calls after this season. I guess based on what he produced with what he has, he may get some calls to get up out of there. So that wouldn't be great. To have continued success, you need some stability, and a head coach definitely is one of the most important pieces to that.
Absolutely. I mean, I would be shocked personally if Mike White, I believe that's the head coach, um,
Hmm.
if he were to leave. I mean, he had some success at Florida before joining the Dogs, but I would be surprised to see him go. I think they're really trying to build basketball culture at UGA that just hasn't existed. It's funny because you look at these schools, Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, they're historically football schools, but they've become basketball schools. Auburn, most definitely, their basketball program has had a lot more success in the last 5 to 10 years than their football program.
While watching that game, it was weird to see because I know about those are the programs that they've been coming on for a while, right? But it was weird to see Bruce Pearl in an Auburn, in an Auburn get up instead of being Tennessee because he was there for so long.
He's been at Auburn for a while now, too.
Yeah.
Um, it's kind of funny to me to just see Bruce Pearl coaching in general after kind of they spat on his name and threw him under the bus at Tennessee. A couple
Hmm.
scandals, and they just said, "All right, come on down to Auburn. We'll take you here." Uh,
Hey, coach gonna coach, man. What's my man's name? He used to coach for Louisville. He's
uh,
a mobster. Oh,
Patrina,
Rick.
Rick Pitino,
Yeah,
Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino, man.
Yeah,
He moved on, and now he's got these guys. I'm sure he's in the dance.
I don't. He's
Um,
not coaching anymore.
Rick Pitino?
I don't think so.
Oh, he absolutely is.
You'll have to look
Um,
where he's coaching at now. But
it's a smaller school, but he's still active though.
um so it is
St. John's.
St. John's. So it
Yeah,
is
because
March.
he was just bashing his players like, man, these kids are soft. He trashing them, man. I love Rick Pitino.
um it is March Madness, right? It's a fun time of year. Uh do you do a bracket every year? I know you're not a huge college sports fan, but you still get down with the March Madness?
Yeah, yeah, and you know I'm coming to my own. You know, I got a friend who's a college football addict, so we do a podcast together. I don't know if you know him, but so I'm coming along football. But I've always watched and done a bracket for March Madness. I have not filled out a bracket yet this year. We usually do a tournament at work. I don't think that's gonna happen.
We did a family one last year with my in-laws. Your boy
Yeah,
won, you know.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Um and then I'll do one on Yahoo. I think there's like a $50,000 one that you can do for free. And then there's a bunch like perfect bracket, win $1 million kind of deals. I think they do one at Sarah's work uh, for Berkshire Hathaway.
Mm,
So I guess it's all of Berkshire Hathaway's companies that participate, but I think there's a $2 million prize or something like that for a perfect bracket. So definitely got to
very
fill one
nice.
out. You know, I think
Mr. Buffett's got some money, huh?
oh,
Is
just a
he rich
few,
or what?
just a few pennies. But yeah, I think the odds of getting a perfect bracket, like you're more likely to get struck by lightning and win the lottery all in the same day. Um,
That was definitely true this weekend with the lightning storm over the A. It looked crazy, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Never seen anything like that. But go ahead.
I'm
The
just
odds
saying the
are
odds are
never in your
terrible.
favor.
Yeah. So I mean, I enjoy this time of year. It's really the only time I really tune in to college basketball. The rest of the season, it's just like I said, keeping up with it, seeing how teams are doing, but it's meaningless basketball for the
It's
most part.
super sloppy too. The tournament gets exciting, right? That's probably the most competitive basketball you can watch in a given year.
Absolutely. I mean, the heart and the passion really ramps
Hmm.
up. So I'm excited to watch some college hoops here in the next few days.
All right. Well, not only did Rick Pitino get his squad into the tourney, man, they're two seeds, so
Mm,
it's them versus Omaha, man. They fill them in for second round.
I
Book
will.
it, Dano.
I'm gonna have to do my bracket tomorrow.
All right. Well, you remember that.
And I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the South bracket does come through the A. Games
Yeah.
being played at State Farm.
Hmm.
Um, Sweet 16 and Elite 8 playing here, and I think in the next couple years we get a Final Four, maybe even the title. So you know, Atlanta is a sports city, whether the national media wants to acknowledge it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. National media be damned, man. I mean, if the events that are here aren't proof enough that this is one of the most powerful sports cities in the world, you can't you can't be convinced. And I'm not gonna try.
Yep. But yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
got for
man.
Spaghetti Junction Junction.
Yeah, well, let's get on out of traffic, man. It's about that time. We want people to like and subscribe. Always remember.
Hit that notification bell. Hit
Mhm.
us up on our other socials, TikTok, Instagram, and let us know what you think of the new format ish. You know, we want to give you some bite sized chunks that you can enjoy on your commutes, especially if you're in that 85, 285, 75 Atlanta traffic.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Appreciate it. And check us out on our next one.
Next one coming right behind it.
Peace.
Peace.